Chat, we got mother discovers her killer son's horrific secret. Let's get into this.
This is Rhonda Harper, and she's about to learn that her son is a wanted killer.
That boy scares the hell out of me. But that's all. I mean, like I said, that's all I know. That's really all I know.
Just days earlier, officers found the body of a 35-year-old father of three with a single gunshot wound to the head.
Damn.
No, he looks familiar.
At first, it looks like a random act of violence, but as officers begin speaking with witnesses, it quickly becomes clear that a murder duo might be on the run, and that a strange woman is at the center of it all.
Yeah, just one bullet, that's it, one shot.
I just seen that he had a gun. Next thing I knew, they got in the car and left.
I want you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you. I didn't shoot Crow.
If I did it, I wouldn't be here. I know I'm innocent. Okay. It's time to show it.
It's July 6th in West Odessa when 911 dispatch gets a routine call from a man at a trailer park, reporting someone had broken into his RV.
Exeter County Sheriff's Office, how can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to report some theft.
Alrighty, I'll get a deputy out there, okay?
Alright, appreciate it.
As officers respond to the report of a break-in with theft, they have no idea this is only the first of several calls to come, each one growing more disturbing than the last.
Who does the RV belong to?
My fiance.
Are you sure it's in her name? How do you know it's hers though?
They're trying to say that because my fiance and her ex both brought it together.
Okay.
And they're both in jail right at 7. She gets out in September. So I'm pretty much rushing over everything, make sure everything's okay.
Okay. Well, he might have told his mom the same thing.
My landlord would say the same thing.
Uh-huh.
But all my toolbox, I had 2 toolboxes over there, completely empty.
They didn't take anything else but the tools?
They went through stuff, but I don't know.
Okay, and what's her name?
Lori.
This is 35-year-old Europe Crow von Brinteson. Europe claims that he's been having ongoing issues with a woman named Lori, arguing over the trailer he's been staying in. To police, it feels like a straightforward civil dispute between two people. They document the call, file the report, and leave the scene thinking little of it. But what they don't realize is that in just 2 days, this simple dispute will turn far more volatile.
Oh God, it is.
Alright, my fiance and her ex bought an RV, and she already done the paperwork and had it notarized to give me legal right to be here. I just had her ex-mother and 2 of her friends came out here trying to threaten me and wanted me to move out of this RV in 2 days. I just want to know, like, if they come back to threaten me, I just want to know where's my rights.
The call ends and dispatch marks it as a low priority incident and cues a unit to check on Europe at the RV. But before that unit even arrives, another call comes in from the very same trailer park, and this one is far more unsettling.
Exeter County Sheriff's Office, this is Jennifer.
This man said that there's another man he's laying on the ground with like blood on his head.
Okay.
And he said he is breathing. He said he doesn't know if he shot him, if they stabbed him, or what's going on, but he said he dropped in the street
they
and
got
now he's
him.
not moving, and he doesn't know if the people are still there.
We'll get deputies around too.
They got him as soon as he
ma'am.
got off the call.
With reports of a man shot on the side of the road, officers race to the scene, completely unaware of what they might be walking into. What they find there will launch a days-long investigation filled with conflicting stories and at least one killer still on the loose. For now, though, all they can do is confront the scene. With no witnesses and no suspects, officers need to do everything in their ability to secure the crime scene and preserve any potential evidence before it's destroyed.
Alright, y'all confirm everything? Alright. Sounds good, okay. Alright, just no more walking around.
Okay.
As first responders arrive, they instantly find a man lying on the side of the road with a pool of blood around him and a single gunshot wound to the head. They have no idea what happened, but one officer spots something right away. The sheer amount of evidence lying around the scene, and among them, one that will later lead them straight into catching the real killer.
I don't see any
I don't see it either. I think they shot him in the car.
Probably.
I don't, but hold on. If they would have dumped him and he would have been bleeding, wouldn't it have spattered? Like, at least a drop or so? If he's laying out that way, the car had to have been coming this way. You'll see his shoe prints all right there. And you see these tire marks?
That may look like his shoe. That's his shoe tracks right there. So let's make sure none of this right here gets tampered with, because he may have been walking when he got shot. And there's a different set of shoe tracks right there.
With the scene secured and the evidence documented, officers start forming their initial theories about what happened. But everything takes a turn when they identify the victim, someone they'd already met, and someone whose earlier dispute may soon explain why he ended up dead.
All we know is the deceased is named like Crow, first name Europe, but we don't know what his last name is. His nickname's Crow.
Oh, I know him. I know.
Can you go confirm it?
Yeah.
He's laying right there on the, don't step on the dirt on the asphalt. He's on the north side of the road.
That's when the realization hits them. The victim on the roadside is Europe, the same man who had called 911 both earlier that day and in the days before, trying to report a growing conflict over his trailer and an unknown woman involved in it.
He was trying to call them before even all this happened, bro. That's crazy.
And as officers revisit those earlier calls,
that's crazy,
they
bro.
quickly realize the scale of the problem. Everything about this case is still a mystery. Who was with him? Who he argued with? Who might want him dead? But out of all the chaos and unanswered questions, only one clue stands out. Just one name. Lori. Europe was a 35-year-old father of 3, working to stay sober and get his life back on track for his children. The RV he was living in had become one of the few steady parts of his life, but that effort came to an abrupt end here on the roadside long before he had the chance to fully turn things around. And now to figure out who this unknown woman is and what led to Europe's death, officers split up and start speaking with witnesses from the trailer park. Little by little, they begin to piece together what happened and hear the first names of potential suspects who may have played a role in Europe's murder.
We live back here in the back. My wife actually heard when the shot went off, but she didn't see it.
I was outside feeding my chicken. It was before 6 o'clock, so it was about 5:30, 5:45. And I heard one shot. It sounded like a pistol. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was just one bullet. That's it, one shot.
I didn't see exactly what happened, but I seen what was going on over here. I just seen that he had a gun or what looked like a gun to me. They were just sitting there talking, and the only thing I knew, they got the car and left.
I seen him and a girl that I know comes here, has been here 2 or 3 times.
The person that's
Yes, all I know him by is Crow. That's his last name. I saw him walking back this way. They were down there walking back this way 15 minutes ago, maybe, just right before it happened. I'm sitting in my house. I didn't think nothing of it. That's his friend. She's been here before. They say there was a guy with him. I didn't see. I don't know. I saw him and her walking.
I'm sorry, I can't pay attention. Her teeth is distracting me, bro. That big gap in her teeth is distracting me. I'm not gonna lie.
As officers keep gathering statements, the story stays consistent. Multiple witnesses saw Europe arguing with a woman just moments before the gunshot, and they mention the same detail that will become important later: her purple, spiky hair. And soon, officers get the confirmation they need, along with new details that push Lori even further into focus as their main suspect and expose just how complicated this situation really is.
You know the Crow?
Yes.
What's his name?
His, Europe.
Europe what?
Europe, it starts with a B. I can't remember.
It's a...
Burton?
No, it's long. He's not even from here. He's from Georgia, South Carolina, somewhere like that.
Do you know if he's ever been arrested before?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. From what I understand, somebody heard them say something about a deposit.
I'll put a deposit on that or something.
So Brenda that called me, my ex-sister-in-law that lives here, she told me that somebody heard something about I'll pay a deposit on this. Okay, well, the issue with the trailer is Destiny, she's in jail. Okay, and she was dating a guy named, her and Zach, he's in jail also. They're family to Zach, and they were coming to try to take the trailer. I called the sheriff because I said, you cannot take that trailer. those two people own it, Destiny and Zach. And when Zach went to jail, she moved her other boyfriend in, Crow, the one that they supposedly got shot. Zach's mother and her roommate had been over here a couple of times, and they just gone to him and kind of started with him, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So Zach's mom and her roommate came over here to get the trailer about a month ago. But anyway, so I wasn't here that day, but they jumped out and they were jumping all over Crow. We're going to take this trailer, blah, blah, blah. Well, then they came, I didn't know how to get a hold of them. They came back a couple of weeks later, and they pulled up, and I met them down here.
What is so special about this trailer, bro?
And it was Zach's mom and her roommate. And that's the woman whose son jumped out of the car the other day with a gun because he
What's
was
his name?
and I don't even know that lady's name. I know Lori's name, Zach's mom, but that's all I know about her, and I have her phone number at home.
After concluding the interviews at the trailer park, officers slowly start to piece together the situation.
So
While
crazy
there's a
about the
lot of
trailer.
unclear statements, one thing finally becomes clear. They learn who Lori is. Witnesses explain that Lori has a son named Zach and that the RV belongs to them. Zach has an ex-girlfriend named Destiny who was dating Europe, known as Crow, before he was killed. At the time, Destiny was already in jail on unrelated charges, meaning Crow was living alone in the RV in the days leading up to his death. But while officers begin to understand the tangled dynamics surrounding the RV dispute, these are still only fragments, second-hand accounts. Nothing they can rely on. To truly understand the conflict between Lori and Europe, and whether she could be responsible for his murder, investigators need to speak with the one person closest to him, Destiny. So they set up an interview at her prison and begin the questioning.
Hi, Destiny. Hi, Jeannie Galero. I'm an investigator at the County Sheriff's Office. The reason I called you in here, you're not in trouble or anything like that. I just wanted to talk to you about it today. Yeah, don't worry about it. I was like, I know I haven't done anything to get in trouble. I've done everything to try to get myself out of trouble. I'm going to be asking you a whole lot of questions about everybody out there and more or less who you know, who you talk to, or who you know out there. So today I was called out. There was what appears to be like an altercation or something happened on that property having to do with that RV. Mm-hmm. Somebody else claiming it to be theirs, and so we're trying to get him out. How close were you with Europe?
Pretty close. We're engaged to hopefully be married when I'm done with this.
Okay. So what other people like on the property were saying is that you
Were they still
lived there
together?
with somebody else
Are they still
before,
together?
Zach.
Europe.
Zach Hamill. Well, that's who was keeping an eye on my camper and who actually got it moved when I was getting out on probation.
So is there any reason why he would try to like take ownership of it, or say that it's his, or would you know of any altercation that he might be?
In the beginning it was both of ours. Like we had the camper together.
So do they have different moms, or?
Zach and Jared?
Yes. Okay, who is Zach's mom?
Zach's mom was Lori Grantham.
Mm-hmm. Does Lori have good contact with Zach, or you don't really
As
have?
far as I know, yeah. Well, as far as I know, he's still in jail, I think.
Mm-hmm. As far as Zach, would he tell Lori to try to take care of the RV, or anything that you know about?
As far as I know, no.
But would you keep in touch with Europe constantly?
Oh yeah.
Every day?
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever tell you there were any issues on the property, or he was having any issues?
He told me that he needed a power of attorney as soon as possible because Tammy kept starting stuff with him.
Tammy?
Yeah, she's the property manager.
As Destiny walks detectives through the RV situation, it's clear she doesn't fully grasp how intense the conflict around its ownership has become. But as the interview continues, Destiny's nerves build, and they're about to break into a moment of pure shock and disbelief, because the investigators decide it's time to tell her the truth about Europe's death.
Today, somebody went out there, tried to force him out. Apparently they've been trying to kick him out, right? That's what I'm trying to ask you. Who's been trying to get him out? Because we need to find out who did this to him.
What to him? My husband's gone?
Yes. He did.
Damn.
And I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, God.
But if there's anything,
Damn, man.
any information,
That's crazy.
anybody that you may know, would be really helpful.
I feel bad for her, man.
I trying to figure out who a lady with.
Yeah, I feel so bad, bro, because she probably sitting in prison. All she thinking about is her husband getting out in the world to see her husband, to start a new life, and now she realized her husband is gone, bro. That's crazy.
Spiky hair is, or a
That's crazy.
Well, Lori has spiky hair.
Lori has spiky hair.
Lori Grantham Zach's mom.
Okay.
The moment Destiny confirms that the lady with the spiky hair is Lori, she instantly becomes the center of investigation. Now that officers know it was Lori who was seen with Europe just minutes before his death, and that she was already involved in a heated dispute over the RV, they finally have a clear direction. They need to find her fast before she realizes investigators are closing in. But tracking her down won't be simple. Lori doesn't own or rent a home, aside from possibly the RV, leaving police with no reliable address to search. The only hint they have comes from Destiny, who explains that Lori used to bounce between motels, so officers start checking those areas, spreading the word that they're looking for her. And just as that search begins, something unexpected happens. Lori herself calls the police, revealing exactly where she is.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not even gonna ask if I'm smoking your car. Can I vape? Can I vape?
Preferably not.
What type of stupid question is that? You know you couldn't smoke, so why would you be able to vape? Another thing, why was she? It's weird. Why was she call the police herself?
I don't smoke, so yeah.
Probably know something up already.
Detectives detain Lori and transport her to the sheriff's office for a formal interrogation without an issue. And while they can't really explain why Lori revealed her location, this will become clear in the future. This is the moment investigators believe everything might have finally come together. They have their primary suspect sitting in an interview room, the woman witnesses placed at the RV, the person tied to the long-running conflict over the trailer, and the last person seen with Europe before he was shot. If she talks, this entire case could break open. But what detectives don't realize is that this interview won't end the investigation. It will completely change its direction, raising a chilling possibility. Lori might not be the person they should have been looking for at all.
You know the reason we are here at this moment, correct? Apparently for incident that happened on the 8th. What exactly can you tell us about that incident?
I just went over to check up the son's camper. His car was supposed to be moving out. He put a deposit down on it and everything. He would be about the 6th. He was still there. And I told him, I said, dude, you gotta go. I mean, we're paying $50 a night rent at the hotel room, you know.
So you were then related to an RV that's on the property, correct?
Yeah, my son's camper.
You say the RV belongs to your son,
Yes, he
Zach?
does. Yes.
Okay. Who's currently staying at the RV?
Crow was staying there. Destiny had to move in. She was foul in business, man, because she's just foul.
So Destiny, I understand she's in our custody at the moment.
Yes.
Correct? And as well as your son, right?
Yes.
So you said the trailer belongs to your son, or that's your understanding, correct?
Yeah.
It's an understanding your Crow was staying at the RV in question. Yeah. Okay.
And I've been over there several times, you know, and telling me, you know, why are you here? Y'all are not even friends. Y'all, common denominator is Destiny. Destiny screws everybody around. She's married to Tommy, engaged to Crow, sleeping with my kid.
So, on this particular day, you went back out there.
What?
Destiny screws everybody around. She's married to Tommy, engaged to Crow, sleeping with my kid.
Oh my gosh. Yo, so she's married to somebody. Married to one person. This is the girl in jail, I'm assuming they talking about. She's married to somebody. Got engaged to somebody else, and then she's talking to somebody else on the side. Golly!
So on this particular day, you went back out there
to check and see if he hadn't moved out yet.
Who was with you?
Nick.
Nick.
I don't know his last name.
Okay. So, just you and Nick?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, Lori gives detectives their first major breakthrough. She reveals that Nick Seabolt, the son of her best friend, is the one who drove her to the trailer park to confront Europe, and that Nick was with Europe at the exact moment he was killed. Just like that, detectives suddenly have a new potential suspect they haven't even heard of before, and another person they now need to track down. But before they shift their focus to Nick, detectives need to determine one last thing. Did Lori have any idea that Nick might have killed Europe, or could she have played a role in setting up the confrontation?
What happened once you guys got there?
Well, Crow was still there, and that's when I said, man, dude, you had it until the 6th. You know, we've already paid a deposit on here. You're supposed to move out. You know, he said he didn't have anywhere to go. I said, well, man, I understand it because I'm in the same boat. And so they went and walked around the block, and I went and looked to see what the camper looked like, you know, how much problem it was going to be, and cleaning it up and moving in. And then Nick came back and said, let's go. So we left. He went to the room, dropped me off. I went and saw my granddaughter. Didn't find out till later on that night that Jay was dead.
That who was dead?
That girl was dead.
Okay. So how did that happen?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
You just told me you were there.
I don't know what happened to Crow. I don't know what happened to Crow. I don't know what it is.
So how she know he was dead?
I didn't shoot Crow.
I didn't say you did. I asked you who shot him.
How she know he was dead?
There's no business about it. It's either Nick did it or did it. I'm
I
asking
didn't
you.
see it. I didn't see it.
So you were inside the trailer the entire time, or when the incident happened?
Yes. Yeah, I heard a gunshot. Didn't really think it was a gunshot. Very short time after that, I mean, I don't know if it was a minute. I mean, I'm assuming it's a minute because it was pretty quick after he kind of heard the shot. Then he said, come on, we gotta go. If you're looking at me like I'm a suspect, or like I had something to do with this, then I think that's either like.
I clearly told you from the get-go. You know, we want to use you as a witness. You know, we're a suspect. We would have come in here in a whole different scenario.
This next time, I guess it's going to be with cups, right?
It's just part of the process.
Yeah. I think I can get about it.
Well, that is still good to you. Okay. But, alright.
The interview concludes with Lori sticking to her story and denying any involvement or knowledge of what happened. With no evidence tying her to the murder, and her explanation sounding believable, detectives decide to let her go and shift their focus to the one person she placed directly at the scene, Nick. The days pass and Nick is still nowhere to be found. Police search every possible spot in the city, shelters, motels, known hangouts, but there's no trace of him. And the murder of Europe, the father of 3, remains unsolved. As investigators continue searching for Nick, they revisit every clue they've gathered so far. That's when they realize there's one person they never formally interviewed. Someone especially close to both Nick and Lori. Rhonda Harper, a woman Nick referred to as his mother. Detectives reach out to Rhonda hoping she can help them locate Nick, but instead, she would share a detail from the day of the murder, one that suggests Lori was far closer to Nick than she initially let on.
The other guy wouldn't let me drive.
Honey, how are you?
I just got called into work right after you.
Oh, really?
But can we go away?
Somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay, where do you want me to park? I'm investigator Jeannie Calderon with the County Sheriff's Office.
I've been trying to keep up with it a little bit.
Okay, so that morning or that Saturday morning, how was your day?
Well, I mean, we woke up, typical day at the Sahara Motel, you know. She said, somebody's gonna, in the motel room, we had 2 dogs, okay? We weren't allowed to have dogs there. And so I allotted to stay that day. Like, I'm going to stay here with the dogs. You go ahead and go find out about the, what was going on with our trailer. And Nick showed up
Okay, and she said, well, I'm just going to ride with Nick in case you need my car, and we're going to go take care of this real quick, and we'll be back. And I said, okay. And that's the way that went. They left. There was nothing, just they left. And they came back, and he dropped. It was the strangest thing because she opened the door to come in the room, and they kissed at the front door. And I'm like, whoa, when did this happen? Like, she's 40, he's 30. I mean, there's a big age difference there. And they kissed at the door, and he left. And she come in, and there was nothing different about none of them.
It appears Lori may have been involved in some kind of relationship with Nick. It's a detail that quietly brings her back onto investigators' radar, but not enough to make her a suspect again. That changes when Rhonda reveals something Nick told her shortly before he disappeared.
After you found out about the incident, did you talk to Nick?
I was too scared.
You only talked to Lori?
I don't want to be involved in that crap, I was scared. Can I ask you a question? Why did he say that Lori has more to do with it than I know? Or can you answer that?
Well, it's in there.
Because, you don't want to think as your friend is a killer,
I cannot go into details, unfortunately, because for obvious reasons, you know what I mean? But things will come out in due time.
Thank you, guys. You're welcome. You have a good day.
Rhonda's statements suggest Lori may have known far more and been far more involved than she ever admitted. It's information that will later help push this case towards its conclusion. But for now, as the days continue to pass, one problem remains. Nick is still missing. Then, nearly 20 days later, something completely unexpected happens. Just like Lori, Nick turns himself in. At first, investigators assume he did it out of guilt, that the weight of the murder finally caught up to him, and detectives believe they finally have the real killer of Europe sitting right in front of them, and that they're just one confession away from closing the investigation for good. But what Nick tells them will force detectives to rethink everything: the evidence they've gathered, the statements they've relied on, and the assumptions driving the entire investigation.
Alright. I know you were outside and it was hot, so I brought you some water. You like water? No, some people. Okay. So, I already introduced myself.
Did you just say you don't like water?
We were outside and it was hot, so I brought you some water. You like water? No, some people.
How you don't like water? What? How you don't like water? So what do you drink?
Okay, so I already introduced myself. My name's Jeannie. I'm an investigator here with the County Sheriff's Office. So this is your statement. I'm going to have to read this out loud to you verbatim. Excuse my reading skills, they're not perfect. Just at your phone. Take over.
Yes. You know the reason we're here at the moment, correct?
Yes. I know why, but I don't know why.
I do know it's regarding an incident that happened on 56th Street.
I didn't, but I do now.
Okay. Are you familiar with an individual named Europe?
No, sir.
This individual I asked you about Europe. Never knew the name or anything?
No, sir.
I understand that most people knew him by Crow.
That's it.
No. Coincidence, your name gets mentioned by several people.
Like I said, a lot of people don't like me.
What is it? It just so happens that the same day that the vehicle arriving at this location happens to give the vehicle you home.
But he said it. That's a small. A lot of people know a lot of people. If I did it, I wouldn't be here. If I did it, I'd say I did it. Just like a couple years ago, when someone shot at me and I shot back at them, and picked me up right down the street. I said it was me.
Do you have anything else to say that might help your case? That might help you?
I mean, I don't need help. I know I'm innocent.
Okay.
And time will show that.
Perfect. Your time? You're not going to waste our time? I mean, it's going to take you back.
Cool, Ben.
Nick denies any involvement in the murder, and officers fail to locate the weapon used to kill Europe. This alone could have stalled the entire investigation, leaving detectives with no confession, no motive, and no murder weapon. But days before Nick turned himself in, investigators had made one crucial discovery that would change everything. A car was captured on a CCTV camera speeding away from the area not far from the trailer park. When detectives ran the plate, they learned that the vehicle belonged to a woman named Catherine Aline Ray. And after interviewing Catherine, they uncovered something important. Just weeks earlier, she had sold that very car to Nick, her nephew. Officers later found the
Gotcha.
vehicle abandoned near Nick's home and secured it. And that's when the most overlooked piece of evidence from the first day of the investigation suddenly became the key to the entire case.
Got him.
The tire tracks found next to Europe's body matched the tires on Nick's car exactly.
They got him.
It's the strongest forensic link detectives have.
Yes,
and
sir.
Even with Nick refusing to speak, it's enough to move forward with charges. As investigators rebuild the timeline, Lori's story begins to fall apart. Her statements no longer line up with the physical evidence or witness accounts, and she describes details she shouldn't know if she truly wasn't aware of the shooting.
That's facts. How did you know he wasn't even alive? They didn't tell her.
Her timeline doesn't match the confirmed movement of Nick's car
They
either,
both did it.
revealing she knew far more than she claimed.
Facts.
Detectives realize she wasn't simply an innocent bystander who happened to be there. She knew far more than she admitted and helped set the confrontation in motion.
Facts.
This is what finally turns her from a released witness into a second suspect.
She was the
On December
ringleader.
5th, 2024,
She was the ringleader.
more than a year after the murder, Nick is charged with murder and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon.
Yes,
he is later
sir.
sentenced to 60 years in prison. Then, on June 1st, 2025, over 2 years after the murder, Lori Grantham pleads guilty to murder and is sentenced to 20 years.
Should have got more, but hey, W freaking video. W catch, bro. W, y'all. They try to play it off like neither one of them knew what was going on. They knew exactly what was going on. I told you, y'all, like, bro, y'all gotta stop doing crimes, bro. They gonna catch you. There's too many technology, there's too many samples, there's too much things to get you, bro. Stop doing the crime if you cannot do the time. You know what I mean?